So that leads into this next poem that's called What We Remember. What we remember is Chevy Aerostar, heavy like a pulled muscle, motor pop and swivel steering. There's nothing that van didn't carry, even his body when he died, there in the driver's seat, fumes filling the garage like water poured and poured and poured. An unusual January day. Sunlight playful against mirrored streaks of snow. Sudden heat thawing gutters, the slow whisper of winter pooling in yellowed grass. The whisk of wind and how it barely moved, tapping branches and tarnished chimes. And when she found him, my mother could barely pull him out of that van, all 300 pounds stiff and straight, a body wrapped in chains. Her breath and the warm suns that are two palms pressed against his chest. And she knelt beside him, fingers stretched, canvas pressed to the edges. And she knelt, smoke tethered to flame. So something really important to, and excuse me, I'm gonna drink. And another note, I don't know if you heard my almost 2-year-old son wailing in the background. If you did, I apologize. He's having a bath with his mother right now, and he simultaneously abhors the bath and loves it at the same time. So he screams when he gets in, and then he starts to swim and splash, and he likes it, and then he screams when he has to get out. It's tough being a toddler. So if you hear that, that's what's going on. Joy and tragedy at the same time. I'm going to read a poem about Houdini here now, and Houdini's relationship with his parents was an easy connection to make. So this poem is trying to capture one kind of photographic moment with Houdini and his father. This is called Houdini's Burden. He sat beneath the trees, snacking a raw potato. The sun edged the green canopy and lit a shadow like flame across the grass, sudden moving flame. He was burdened with how to pretend to die. Handcuffs, straitjacket, milk can. He wanted to give them this, the fear they had seen him alive for the last time. He decided to be buried in Lincoln Park, a plank rigged in the bottom of the casket so he could dig to the surface at the same rate they shoveled him under. His father moaned as he told him. He asked Houdini to do the card trick again, the one he learned in Milwaukee as a child. Houdini held out the deck and fanned the cards from his hands. His father scanned them carefully, pulled one from the fold slowly, like someone gripping the edge of a knife, a shining blade of glass. I'm just going to read 2 more, actually. And this one is a sonnet that was, I think, the last poem I worked on in this manuscript. And I actually wasn't sure if I was even going to include it because for me it seemed silly to write a poem with Appleton as the main subject of the poem, because I've lived here my whole life. It seemed trite, but then I realized that I wouldn't be the only one reading this, hopefully. And so I went for it. This is inspired by a quote that I read from Houdini where he said that his greatest escape was when he got out of Appleton. And this is called Appleton. This is where Houdini learned to work a cuff and pick a lock, where the gray iron steam of the mill breathed heavy along the river, thick with wood pulp, slow and churning through lantern night. This is where he was born, or born again in a lie, where his father died, or died a metaphor to him. Still in the train whisper of the night, I hear the same tracks he ran across as a child. I hear the same river groan in its vault of ice, loam and shake against its captive walls. More than anything, this is where he learned to escape, to disappear like the smokestacks that once cradled the city's dim nest of stars. All right, so I'll do one more right now as promised. And I think I want to do something a little bit lighter, a little bit more, I have to find it now, oh dear. Something a little, that's focused on something beautiful instead of something sad. This is called Blackberry Bush. Heavy branches and spiraled roots. Blackberries blooming on a bush never tended, never answered. We turn the fruit between our fingers and watch its juices rope over knuckles. Sugar dark hands bleeding violet over yellowed grass. Tasting something never meant for us. Stealing life from life. Trading sweetness for clean hands. I wonder where the bird goes when the vine dries up. What limb sustains it? What willow song it sings and gives itself away as an outsider? What we sing is silent, inward, thick as honey caught in the throat, a mouth shadowing breath, no reply. Imagine the bird, the beak, the plume. Imagine the branch, the song. That's all for me now. I'll turn it over to Angela. Thanks, everybody.